Welcome to another episode of the Plocast. Now, before we get into this discussion, there's a couple things I wanted to say real quickly. This episode was recorded immediately following us watching Chapter 13, so there's a couple things we missed and there's a couple things we forgot. So later in the episode, you'll hear us talking about how we wonder how Ahsoka knows about Grogu and his story at the Jedi Temple. But it's very obviously said in the episode that they can read each other's thoughts, or at least she can read his thoughts, which is something that we missed the first time. Morgan Elsbeth is the name of the magistrate, and her people were killed during the Clone Wars, which is something we also forgot. It's actually a cool theory out right now that she's part of the tribe of villagers that Death Watch kills in that one episode of the Clone Wars, which is pretty interesting. There was also some Rebels connections that we did not talk about, and that is because Paul has actually not seen Star Wars Rebels, so I didn't want to get into spoiler territories for him, and then I would be the only one talking because I'm the only one that has actually, seen Rebels. Also, we do plan on doing a watch through of Star Wars Rebels. It'll be like live reactions from Paul, and then me reacting to him reacting, I guess, or giving some extra details, or so that's why he has not watched it yet, because we wanted to make a series on it. So look out for that probably once Mandalorian's over, and we have more time, and we don't have to make Mandalorian based episodes. So look out for that. So that was it. Just a couple things I want to talk about. Thankfully, this preface was a lot shorter than the one on last week's episode. So thanks for listening and enjoy. All right, welcome to another episode of the Plocast. This is going to be our breakdown / discussion / review of Chapter 13 of The Mandalorian, which we just watched. If you haven't seen the reaction, you can go click the link down below. It will be linked because we did the reaction went up a couple days ago. But this is actually being recorded immediately after, pretty much like 10 minutes after we finished. So, go ahead, lay it on me. What are your thoughts? Immediate thoughts.
First thought is, for those of you who watched the reaction video, I want a pod count for both me and Evan, because there were a lot of them. Because that episode,
yes, very fun.
11 out of 10.
We don't. I mean, at least me. I don't normally just say "pog" all the time. But we've been saying it as a meme so much that it's just slipped into my vocabulary. It's like just slowly, not even trying to. But
yeah, we're probably going to say it 10 more times through this video. So
okay. So first things first. Ahsoka is back, obviously. And I'm gonna be honest, I think they did a very good job with this. This was, I figured they would do well, like a decent job anyway, and then I saw it was going to be Mr. Dave Filoni himself. I was like, there's no way Filoni's going to screw up his baby like this, his creation. This is like his big thing. There's no way he's going to, mess it up. And they did not. That was a lot better than I was expecting, and I was expecting pretty good. So,
dude, the mannerisms, the charisma, perfect. like how she did the little arm fold thing, that she was doing so much in season 7. In the final fight with the pole lady, the magistrate, when her one lightsaber got knocked in the pond, she did the reverse grip on the other one.
God.
It was awesome. The appearance and the mannerisms, all that, A++.
Yeah, and like when I saw her fold her arms over and like tilt her, I immediately thought of the scene right in season 7 when Anakin gives her new lightsabers, and I forget what the context is, but she crosses her arms, she looks at him, she's like, Anakin. She doesn't say that, but that's the look. And I was like, that is that look, that is that facial expression, that is immediately what I saw.
Yep, and she even shouted out Anakin when she refused to.
Very subtly.
Yep, that was
no name drop, but we all know who who she was talking about, obviously. Also, like the makeup and the like, I forget what the word is, but like the like
special effects? Question mark?
No, that would be
I know.
that would be special effects.
I know what you're talking about, but I don't know the word.
It's like not makeup,
props,
and it's not practical, or it is practical, but it's anyway. Her head tails look really good. If there's one gripe, like in the middle, they kind of had some creases in them, like it looked like they were like foam and they were kind of bent. But that's like trying to find something wrong.
I liked how, like they weren't too tall. You know, Shakti, how tall her horns are.
Oh yeah,
I don't know if I like that. But I thought like obviously when their species age, their horns and stuff they get longer. I think her length, like in height and also length on her chest and back, I think it was again perfect. I thought her wardrobe and all that was outstandingly done.
Yeah, really nice outfit too. I think they they really nailed it, and the cloak just looks when she's got the cloak on, and you just see like her head tail's poking out the bottom, and then like there's a little poking out up top. It looks so good.
Dude, tell me if I'm wrong, but like they straight up wrote Ahsoka, like her action scenes, as Batman. She was like in the intro, she was like running around, and then the final fight, she was like sneaking on rooftops and stuff.
Yeah.
It was dope. It was fantastic.
She killed someone and then shut off the lightsabers and then ran around.
Oh my! In the
Dead
dust
silence.
storm.
Then they turn on and she got someone else, and then dead silence. It was just magical.
Oh my god! Oh, the gray lightsabers.
Yes.
Again, first time in live action. Amazing.
Of course, those are the same. Also, obviously, she gets those. Well, she has those in Rebels. And those I'm pretty sure those are the same hilts as well. The same lightsaber hilts. So you know they really they nailed every detail they could. Now, sure, like especially if you think back to the last episode we made where we were talking about how, oh well, it's not going to be Ashley or whatever. Yeah, I mean it sucks that she wasn't able to be a part of it. But and we weren't trying to say that Rosario Dawson was going to do bad. We were just trying to say how it sucks that like Ashley wasn't able to be a part of it when you have Katie Sackhoff returning, you got Tamora Morrison returning, like all these characters. Sam Witwer has been Maul in Solo, but you know we didn't get that with Ahsoka. But aside from that, and that's still like a very small thing. I think she got like she it looks like she studied for the part, if that makes sense. I feel like Filoni was probably like, okay, you're gonna need to watch these 40 episodes of Clone Wars that are all about Ahsoka in a week, and you have to do it before we shoot, so you know exactly what. Because that's just, I feel like that's how he would want it done.
Yeah, there's no way Filoni was gonna let, like, maybe like the voice for me was a little off. It's just the only thing is my only gripe, which if you can even call that, it's literally nitpicking, is that it's not Ashley. Like like Rosario Dawson looked the part, her mannerisms were the part, how she moved, her smirks were the part, her quips were the part, how she delivered the lines, like you said, she wouldn't use contractions, she would say is not and stuff like that.
That's the word.
Yeah, but yeah, no, Rosario Dawson killed it for me. Killed it.
I just attribute, I like my in canon, my head canon type thing would be that just age and time. Her voice just slowly just gets down, and because in Rebels it is a little bit deeper. Like Ashley plays it a little bit lower than in Clone Wars, obviously, because she's aged. But that's just how I see it. Is that she just got a little older, so that justifies it enough for me.
And how about the name reveal, Grogu?
Grogu.
Thoughts on that?
You know, when they immediately said I was in my head, I was like, did they just name the species? I thought they name dropped the species.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
And I was about to lose my mind because you don't do that. We're at the point now to where the answer would be far less interesting than the question.
Yes.
You don't. The Yoda's race is a mystery. That's the whole draw of the child, or Grogu now that we know. The whole draw is that there's only been 2 of this species that we've known of, and only 1 that's actually ever done anything. Because like what Yaddle was like on the council.
Don't disrespect my counselor
I'm
member
saying, like,
Yaddle.
I'm just saying she didn't really do much. So only 1 notable member of this species. We don't know the name of the species. And then suddenly there's another one. And then if like, oh yeah, the species is called a this or whatever, you would just be like, oh, okay, well, now I know, I guess. Like, woo. That's what because I mean the Grogu it sounds like it could be a name or a species.
Yeah, I could see it going either way. But no, I definitely don't want them to name the species or even visit the homeworld. I want no part of that.
Oh, no, that would be can you imagine just like a city full of like Yodas? I feel like that would just kind of kill the magic.
There's supposed to be mystic, like super powerful force beings that only venture outside their home world to like only like 3 of them so far, and they live 900 years. Like I want to keep it that way. But they said Baby Yoda was in the Jedi Temple during the Clone Wars.
Yeah,
that's a huge. I did not see that coming.
No, I did not either. I don't know if would that mean he was there during like the show, like while Ahsoka was in the Order still? Because in canon, I mean, the Jedi were still around for, I think it was like a couple months, maybe a year or so after Ahsoka left. So did he arrive after she left, or have they met before? Is that why she knew the name, or could she just understand what he was saying? So, and obviously, he wouldn't look very different. You know, he would look about the same because they age insanely slow. And when she said he was being taught there, it took me a second to go back and realize, like, oh wait, yeah, he's 50. Like, it's just hard to think about. I want to know. I want to know the timeline of this all.
Yeah, because like, it's got to be like. Now, Luke, how old was Luke in Return of the Jedi? 20? 23?
I thought it was more late. So, yeah, in his 20s, I think. 20.
So, and when did the Clone Wars start? How long was the Clone Wars? Maybe 10 years?
I think it was 4 years.
When was the Phantom Menace? Is what I was trying to say. Because I feel like
I think the war itself lasted 3 years.
Wouldn't that mean Baby Yoda or Grogu was behind the scenes in the entire prequels?
Exactly.
That's kind of crazy.
He was alive, and he was probably at the temple. So now, in universe, you could go watch an episode of Clone Wars where they're at the temple, and you could be like, Grogu is there somewhere.
Grogu's in the background.
He's probably behind that door doing some Force stuff.
And I know this is out there, but in my headcanon, based on zero evidence, Grogu is the love child of Yaddle and Yoda. Heard it here first.
That would be a reveal for sure.
That'd be great. I know Jedi are allowed to have sex to repopulate their species because Ki-Adi-Mundi did it.
Yeah.
Just as long as you don't grow attached.
He did a lot, didn't he? Like a lot.
Yeah, my guy's a G, by the way. So yeah, that kind of be crazy like Yoda. Yoda got some game.
Yeah,
my boy.
With the literally the only female of the species that is known of.
Yeah, he's 1 for 1, bro.
Thanks. Then there's only one, so that's either 0% or 100%. Like you're. I hope they. Like I want to know more, but I don't want to know too much. I don't want them to give us too much to where it just feels like they're just spitting out a wiki page. Like I kind of want them to just a little bit enough to satisfy, and then the rest is a secret. Because we don't want to know the full. I mean, like the full timeline of his like, oh, here we go, and then you go on Wikipedia 2 minutes later, and there's a whole timeline of them, and you're like, okay, well.
But the telepathy thing where she just straight up knew his name was Grogu. I know Kylo Ren did it, but do they is that a normal Jedi power to just read each other's minds?
I don't know. Was that I didn't catch? Was that? I thought of that as maybe she knew who he was from the temple.
That was what my other thing was. Like, if it's not that, do you think Ahsoka literally knew Grogu before?
Because
which would be like
Yoda speaks English, or I guess basic. He speaks basic, so you would assume that Grogu would eventually. His language is basic, and he's just baby mumbling. So I don't think he spoke it to her.
That's what I'm thinking. If he doesn't know how to speak, how can he think his name?
It was probably in the episode, and we just missed it because we were talking,
pogging.
We were reacting and pogging. That brings up a good point because, has Ahsoka been has she been doing more? Has she been training on the side, or has she been, just sitting there or going from planet to planet, just being on her own? Because she's by herself until Mando gets there. She's just trying to help people, of course, as always.
Like the Ahsoka she is.
Facts.
But she's definitely at least staying active, dude. Those lightsaber skills they're not that sharp by accident.
I imagine the finale, and they somehow managed to get all 3 of the characters we've seen so far.
That's what I'm thinking.
That
all 3 of them.
Man, just Bo-Katan and Ahsoka meeting again, and Boba Fett's there. I'm trying to remember. I don't think Boba and Ahsoka ever encountered each other. I'm trying to remember.
I think I know the one arc where, remember, Mace Windu and Anakin get trapped.
Yeah, Ahsoka wasn't a part of that.
There's one. It was with Asajj Ventress, right?
But that was after. I think that was after Ahsoka had left.
Okay. So yeah, I guess they haven't met.
And then there was in between after Boba escaped when he was with Aurra Sing and Bosk. Yeah.
Plo Koon was in that episode. Was Ahsoka in that one?
No, I don't. No, but
because I feel like that.
I think that teamed up. No, I think that was because the thing with Mace was, I think, a 2 or 3 part episode, right? So
yeah,
that would mean because remember Aurra Sing shot Commander Pons, which was Mace's clone commander.
Right.
Or was it I think it was commander. I don't remember if it was captain or commander. But yeah, Aurra Sing shot him, and that's what drew them, I think, to go rescue the 2 other clones. Or no, there was another clone and the admiral, I think. But so basically the point we're trying to say is they haven't met before. I don't know if there would be much to gain from that because they don't really have much they could talk about, I feel.
Maybe Bo-Katan and
Bo-Katan and because the Mandalorian conflict, but I don't see much with Ahsoka and Boba. Just because they didn't even interact, they don't really have anything related.
Boba is a notorious Jedi killer, so
this is true.
Yeah,
and he almost killed her master. So, But that would only really be like a couple lines, I think, if that were to lead to anything.
But speaking of characters coming back, check out this segue. When they talked about, it was Tython, right? The Seeing Stone.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, when Mando's gonna bring Grogu there, call out to a Jedi.
At the
Do you
top
think
of
that's gonna be a returning character or like a new one altogether?
I feel like they've kind of. It's because it's hard to tell what they're gonna do if they want to keep. Because season 1 was. I'm pretty sure, like for the most part, it was entirely original characters. Everybody was a new character. But so far we've already gotten 3 big returning characters. And we're only like what 5 episodes in, 6 episodes, 5, right?
5.
Yeah, and we already we're in 3 of those episodes. There's been big character returns. So I don't know if they're gonna maybe keep going with the bringing back old characters, or if they're gonna make their own new character that had some sort of past connection that they retcon, to be in the temple or whatever. But I feel like either way, because there's gonna be, if they do bring back somebody old, there's gonna be fans that are gonna be like, oh, all they're doing is bringing back old characters. They're not doing anything original, or just to get fans or whatever. So you're gonna have that, and then there's people if it's a new character, people who had their theories, they're, ooh, I think it's gonna be so and so. They're gonna be disappointed if it's somebody they have no clue who it is. So I feel like what would make more sense to be a new character, because they've already had so many returning characters this season. Unless they want to save that arc for season 3, which I doubt they will. Because in that case, you could maybe get somebody back. But I think that what they're going to do is probably either it'll be a new character, or it'll be an old Jedi, but one that wasn't very popular, or one that didn't have a lot of screen time, but one that we already know. So I could go either way, I think.
I could even see him. Imagine if, because on the Seeing Stone, we're just assuming he's going to choose light. What if we see? We were joking about it, a Darth Grogu. I feel like that avenue would be crazy. God. That's unexplored territory right there. Darth Grogu.
Oh man, that's like the Darth Jar Jar theory. Let's get some,
yep.
some theories out there.
But I could see it. The only character that would, because I could see him bringing someone back. I'll be like, all right, I could get behind a new character too. But the one person, if they bring in, I'm gonna rip my laptop off the wall and throw it into the next street over. If it's Luke Skywalker, imagine if they casted a young lookalike of Mark Hamill and they've kept it quiet this whole time. That would be the biggest reveal in any show I've ever watched. I would lose it.
Or if they just get Mark Hamill, because they made him look so damn old in the sequels with like his gray, and then his Force vision.
You think he could play it?
Well, even if he looks a little old, it's Mark Hamill.
Yeah, that would be so giddy.
And B, they could always, do some makeup or some VFX or something.
That's true. They did have that in episode 9, that flashback with him and Leia.
Yeah, and then also in episode 8 when he fought Kylo, he was all D8, or his hair was all clean and it was brown again, and it was like he looked good.
The crate sunset scene. Honestly, I really like that scene. I love that duel. I love how he said earlier, he was like, what do you expect me to take on the whole First Order? And he literally does. I know it's a force projection.
Like the boss.
Some people were like mad it was a force projection. I thought that was awesome. I'm not gonna lie. That was episode 8 sucks, and I'll die on that hill. But that scene, very good. I like that scene. And I think it's because Mark Hamill.
The only thing I like, because I like that scene too, but the only thing that bugs me. Okay, so Kylo's turn is Luke's fault for what Luke did. So when Luke is talking to Kylo, he starts to like taunt him and like make fun of him or whatever. I forget what the exact line, but he said
every single thing that you just said is wrong. That's what he said.
But he starts roasting this dude. I'm like, you're the one that did this to him. But okay. But
to combat that never should have happened. Luke would never do that. That's one of the gripes I have.
We could get into that at some point.
Okay, yeah. I don't want to get on the sequels because we'll go for hours.
We will have. There will be a time.
But yeah, if Luke shows up at any time for Grogu, I'm losing it.
Facts. You don't happen to remember what time we started this, do you?
12:30-ish? I think we're okay on time.
I think we finished the episode at 12:30. We just, like 10 minutes later.
Do you have anything else you want to address?
Yeah, I was just wondering because I wanted to get a time frame.
Gotcha.
Let's talk about the big other drop. There's a fourth technically returning character, Grand Admiral Thrawn. That came out of left field. I mean, unless they subtly hinted at it earlier in the episode, because I mean, to be fair, we were reacting over some of the dialogue.
We're gonna have to rewatch.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna rewatch it tomorrow at some point. But that came out of left field for me. I was not expecting that at all.
I was the whole time. I don't know. Did they give the characters names? I know she called him the magistrate, and then the guy, like her lieutenant or whatever.
I think she did. She did when in the I forget what it was, but in the forest she was talking to because Mando was like, "Who is she?"
Right.
And then started. I think.
Anyway, I was fully expecting her to say Moff Gideon, and I thought like, okay, yeah, they're gonna address Moff Gideon, and then they're gonna continue with the cloning. Like that's the next step in the story. It makes sense.
Right.
But bringing in Thrawn, that again left field. And I was like, "What? That was awesome!"
And what's even crazier is that you haven't seen Rebels.
I've seen none of Rebels, but I know a lot about Thrawn, and I really want to read the books because I've seen like not, I guess, spoiler-free reviews almost,
right,
to where like I know enough about him, and like some of the stuff he does seems super awesome. I can't wait. I guess we're going to see another character again in Mando, and I can't wait for him.
But yeah, I'll get back to that in a second, but he is, it's not really a spoiler for you, but you already know because he is in Rebels.
Mm-hmm.
And in Rebel, he's pretty good in Rebels. He's like really, his voice is so, like his act, like how he just is done really well in Rebels. So if there's people like you already hyped up without even seeing like 2 seasons worth of Thrawn in the show, then you know it's definitely a big character for them to bring back, especially after he was removed from the canon like everything else.
Yeah, that was big dumb on Disney, but that's another thing we can get into. Them ruining expanded universe.
Man.
But wait, Thrawn is Chiss, right? That's his species?
I think so. I'm
pretty sure. The blue guys.
Is that how you... Because there's also... I used to get him mixed up with Cad Bane's species.
That's what I was asking. Because I know Cad Bane has that dope-ass voice, the growly thing. But he doesn't... Chiss don't sound like that, right?
Yeah, Cad Bane is a Duros, I think.
Duros. That's right.
Yeah, and they got like the big
bulbous heads,
huge
and the big foreheads.
Yeah, but no. So and Thrawn's head is like person shaped. So
yeah, and he has hair, right?
Yeah. Yeah. He has pupils too.
I think because one person I loved was director Krennic from Rogue One.
Yes.
I think and Moff Gideon so far, but like, and of course Oh man, I'm drawing a blank. From original trilogy, Admiral Tarkin.
Grand Moff Tarkin.
All right, Grand Moff. Yeah. Oh, I can't believe I forgot the name. But my point is, the like high-ranking Imperial officers, like those as a villains, I think are like dope because they're always so like they're military, they're formal. They almost like they have the British accents. They speak eloquently. Like I don't know. There's something about them that. Because I guess like the stereotype with the British accent villain, maybe it's that. But I'm excited. Yeah. Oh man, they can just keep throwing them in there for me. Like more Director Krennics, more Thrawns. Go right ahead.
That's just a little. I just when we get these new Imperial type characters that are actually good, makes me happy because I feel like we could always use some more Imperials, especially like desperate Imperials after the Emperor's dead.
Oh yeah.
And this man's got the Darksaber, and he's trying to make like Force. He's trying to like remake Inquisitors and shit. And you're like, man.
Oh yeah, I love the direction they're taking it.
This is gearing up to be a pretty good season. It's already been a really good season.
Oh yeah, we were saying after the intro, this was the best episode ever.
Well, I mean, we're a little biased because Ahsoka is quite literally one of my favorite. Oh, he's gone. He left the Discord. But anyway, there he is.
Greg shut me off.
Damn it! Come on, Craig.
I think I'm back now.
Yeah, you're back.
Wait, I was in a room recording.
Yep, we're good.
All right, bet.
As I was saying, we're a little bit biased to that because Ahsoka is just top. We're a little bit biased to that because Ahsoka is just top S tier character. If we were to make a tier list,
period.
Oh, we should do a Jedi tier list.
Video coming soon. Jedi tier list.
Even though tier lists are not the thing anymore.
Yeah, I feel that. Who cares?
I'm gonna write it down in the notes right now in the video.
Who cares? I don't care if it's outdated by a few months. I just want to put Ahsoka in S.
Yeah, instant S tier. And if you watch this, there's a spoiler for one.
Yep. Dooku, my also S tier Jedi.
Wait. Oh yeah.
I don't care that he left. That doesn't negate it.
Well, we had the scene from Yoda's visions in the Clone Wars when he was on the light, and I like that.
Him and Qui-Gon were boys.
Puts every Jedi in S tier.
Yeah, right. What's a Jedi that? Oh, I guess Mace Windu.
Yeah,
he's so rude to Ahsoka. I like Mace. I like Mace.
But
no, this is for another video. This is for another video. We're always going on tangents.
That's okay. Look at Star Wars. They do that. They branch off into.
It's very true.
Into whatever they want all the time.
Very true.
One random thought I just had.
Okay.
What if the Jedi is Cal Kestis from Jedi Fallen Order?
Ooh.
Yeah.
That would be amazing. That would be like a major tie-in, dude.
Yeah.
Tying in a Disney series to a video game. That's awesome.
Yeah, everybody's been so upset that Force Unleashed is no longer canon. Well, here now we could. Well, Jedi Fallen Order is canon, but like we could, connect it. And plus, you could just get Cameron Monaghan to come play him in live action.
Yeah,
because he's a person. He did the mocap for Cal, and he voiced and acted as Cal in the game. So he could literally just have him come on, make him look a little older or something like that. Not even that older, because Fallen Order is, kind of. You could just. It would look fine.
Mm-hmm.
But imagine if you could have. That would just be so trippy. This video game character just in real life, just.
That would be insane. Because, like, I know, like, Fallen Order, the game, like, it didn't only do well. It did, like, surprisingly well. Even though, like, it's Star Wars, of course it's going to sell well. No, it sold even better than what EA thought. EA was like, yo, no one likes single-player games. We'll make you one just because. And it was the second best-selling game of all 2019 or something like that.
They're like,
there's something crazy.
People still play single-player games?
Yeah. But, like, I feel like I didn't even think about Cal. I feel like that would be a smash hit.
Yeah, that would be. That's kind of, like mainstream aren't gonna connect with him a lot. Hardcore fans would get a kick out of it because he's only in the game. We don't see him anywhere else. I feel like that could be a good middle ground.
Oh yeah.
And then you could get people to buy the game. Boom. There you go.
Yeah, true. Oh my god, Disney, just hire us, dude. We'll do all the writing.
And then you just add facts. Just put us on.
We gotta figure it out.
Then they could make a DLC pack. You could get old Cal and his whenever he looks like in Mandalorian.
It's we're already tying it all together. We gotta figure it out.
Yeah, because I really liked Fallen Order. The story was great. The gameplay was fun. But I was left just a smidge unsatisfied with the fact that we didn't get to see, Cal or even like Seer or anybody like, at least training or finding some sort of force sensitive person or something along those lines. But obviously it couldn't happen because we know that there are no more Jedi once the original trilogy rolls around. But just to see him being able to interact with another, like a younger Force wielder, kind of be like when Anakin had his Padawan because he was still kind of young. I just think it would be cool.
I think it would be dope because like the whole point of the game was they were trying to find the Force sensitive people, which is like, oh yeah, but then they found out this is going to bring too much harm. We got to destroy this stuff. So they're like, okay, they did the right thing, but like he never got to do what he wanted to do. And it like now, perfect opportunity.
Exactly. They could just do it right there.
Dang. Good point, Evan.
All right. It's been documented. Well, see you in a couple weeks when Cal Kestis shows up on the screen.
Heard it here first.
But probably not though, because we've gotten months before the season came out, we knew everybody that was returning pretty much. We knew Tamara Morrison was coming back. We knew that Katie Sackhoff would be coming back or would be, joining the cast. So we knew Rosario Dawson would be joining the cast. So we would, unless this big secret, which I don't think they would keep for a character like Cal because he's not as popular. He's not nearly as popular as like Boba Fett.
No.
They wouldn't keep it a secret because he's not that big of a character, I think. But you never know.
Still have hope. I still have hope they're gonna do something bold.
Live action BD1. That'd be so dope.
He still has all the same little boops and bops that he came with. Yep.
I'm gonna go.
Another thing I want to talk about though. Beskar deflecting lightsabers.
Oh my god!
Was that a thing before this episode?
Yeah, I think so. Wait,
I did not
if
know.
you've seen it, but we knew that it was capable of doing that.
Personally, I didn't, and when he did, he just straight up said, "It reminded me of like how Wonder Woman did it to bullets," and I was like, "Whoa!"
that whole fight was like, and then when she got tied up. And then she leapt over the tree and pulled him up by his own wire, and and then she went behind her back and cut the wire, the cable. That was just
that's exactly how I think Ahsoka would fight.
Yeah,
that's what I mean when they say they got her mannerisms right.
Like it was her fighting, obviously not as jumpy because we've only seen her in animation where you can do unrealistic things and make it look good. Because they had live action, so they had to make it a little bit more realistic, like how Ahsoka would fight. That was the biggest thing for me. I wanted it to be her. I wanted you to look and listen to this character and say, yeah, I could definitely see that as Ahsoka, which I think they did.
Yeah,
that was the biggest thing for me. I wanted it to be her. I wanted you to look and listen to this character and say, yeah, I could definitely see that as Ahsoka, which I think they did.
Yeah, they definitely did. They nailed it.
Action was great. There was a couple of funny bits in there, like with the guy out front. They were about to have a standoff. He was just like, "Oh, sounds like you won. Don't worry."
Yeah, I like that guy.
I like the one the civilian dude,
the villager. They made
he's like, look out behind you, and then he turned to put a hole in his head.
That was my favorite character of the episode.
Yeah. Favorite. You know what? Favorite character of the whole show. That one civilian right there.
He saved his town.
Facts, exactly. I loved the horror vibes that we got. Like it was just they were all running through the town, and then Ahsoka would just pop in and grab someone, and then hop out or something like that.
She was straight up Batman, bro.
Insane.
If she did like the growly, I'm Batman, I would have been like, you're right. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, you are. You know what? I stripped the title from Bruce Wayne and I give it to you.
You earned it.
That intro scene, that was just, I think we already talked about it, but still, like when she just lightsabers came on, just take someone down, lightsabers go out, and then it's just you see nothing. And then she's over here, boom, 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 boom.
She was just moving through the dust like wind, like.
Here, we'll do it with into the nice microphone. What did that sound like?
Delicious.
Okay, good. That's what I was going for. That was the exact
adjective
I was looking for.
Make sure to add ASMR to the tags of this.
Oh yeah, of course. Well, we have to do some actual ASMR so it doesn't get reported. Okay, guys. So this episode was pretty good. Overall, I would say an 11 out of 10. Pretty good. Grogu.
So yeah. Oh, but the Beskar spear. Can we talk about that?
Oh my god, I want one of those.
Now that Mando has it, let's go. I can't wait to see it in action, or more in action.
And like the sounds that it made when it hit.
Oh
like
my god!
Clang.
It was going on in the background when they're having their little standoff. Yeah. That was so cool. And there he was like, yeah.
It's been far too long since I've heard the lightsaber sounds in a new Star Wars content thing, like a show or movie, and actually like enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's
this show, there's been no, other than the Darksaber, which sounds completely different than a regular lightsaber. We haven't seen any. And then just they got the sounds were just so. I don't know if it's just because I was watching Clone Wars recently, but it sounded like the Clone Wars or Rebels like lightsabers. I don't know if it's the exact same sound, but it just sounded so good, and it looked so good.
I think the last thing we saw lightsabers in was Rogue One, right?
Well, no, the sequels.
Well, obviously they don't count, bro.
The last good thing, you mean?
Yeah, those aren't in my head canon.
Season 7 of Clone Wars. Because that season 7.
No, but live action. It would actually be episode 9, right?
Would be episode 9, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, I was overjoyed. Like not even just lightsabers, specifically when she's deflecting the blaster bolts. That's like
yes, that's what
that sound alone. Yup.
I just have the sudden urge to go watch the Siege of Mandalore, or like Mortis, or just Ahsoka's
the entirety of Clone Wars.
You know, I'm just gonna go watch it again. Yeah, overall, just really good episode. So far, I would say this episode, and then episode 3 with Bo-Katan is number 2. So it goes first place. We have this episode, then episode 3 with Bo-Katan, and then episode 4, I think.
I was about to say I really like that one too.
Like objectively. And then episode 1, and then episode 2 would be my ranking so far. That could be another episode we do once the season wraps up. We could have our full ranking and talk about why we place the episodes where.
More tier lists.
Dude, tier list. Man, that was like months ago when they were popping, and then they just like stopped.
Yeah, they heavy died off, but we're bringing them back.
Yeah, we will single-handedly revive tier lists on YouTube by ourselves.
Absolutely.
It'd be worth it.
But yeah, well, I just want to shout out Craig and shout out Grogu.
Facts. What would you give this episode if you had to rate it out of 10?
I think I already said 11 out of 10. Either here or the reaction. But realistically, I do think it was a 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
The action, like 10. How they handled Ahsoka, 10.
10.
The plot lines that we already knew about, like them tying them over, 10. Yeah. New plot lines, 10. Bring in Thrawn, the action, the sounds, choreography, everything, 10.
Yeah.
Like, seriously.
Thrawn was the biggest surprise for me because we already knew what this episode was going to be, who was returning, obviously. But Thrawn, I had no clue that was coming.
That was awesome.
If I had to say one, if I'm like, and this is me searching for an issue, I would say the magistrate character wasn't really developed too much. Like Ahsoka says like a couple lines about her, and then that's kind of it. And then they just fight, and we're supposed to, like care a lot about her and what. Like we're literally the most interesting part about her is that her master was Grand Admiral Thrawn.
Yeah,
like that's the most interesting part about that character, and I feel like it's okay because the episode wasn't about her. It was about Ahsoka and Grogu and the Mando. Learning. Hit that storyline was the main. This magistrate was more of like something to push the plot. It was like the side part. But I think if I had to pick out something that was weaker about this episode, it would be that character by herself. Because even in our reaction, she like we see the doors open into her like house or whatever, into her palace, and she's just standing facing the water, like grabbing a plant or something, holding the spear. And then like 20 minutes later, when Ahsoka goes in, after the magistrate had gone outside, talked, and then went back in, she's like standing in the literal exact same spot,
same exact spot,
grabbing the tree or whatever with the spear. I was like, that shot just put it in my head. And I was like, I'm not feeling this character as much.
Yeah.
So I mean, I liked her. The fight was cool. I think she was a cool character, but just could have been developed a little more. But I understand why she wasn't, because she was not the focal point of the episode, and eventually the runtime would have just been too long. So
she was definitely underdeveloped, but
for that, realistically, I will give the episode for that a 9.5. But unrealistically, we're going 11 out of 10 because, duh. Obviously.
Yeah. But like episode 3, I was like, oh, this is my favorite episode of the entire series so far. Episode 4, I'm like, this is right up there. I love this episode. This episode, oh, this is my favorite episode of the series. Like, we're getting better and better.
Going up with this pace, there's no way they don't bring back these characters at some point.
It's
this season.
Yeah, it's like, crazy because like
all the setup with Bo-Katan and the Darksaber, and then obviously this whole episode with Ahsoka, and then freaking Boba Fett. If there's one character I think we might not see again this season, would be Ahsoka, because probably costs a lot to do her fight scenes and effects and all that, and also just story wise, I don't feel like she has much else to provide. She gave us his name and the knowledge about Grogu, and then she kind of just sent him off to the temple or to the tower to find the actual Jedi who's going to train him. So I feel like if one of these 3 characters wouldn't come back, it would probably be Ahsoka, this season anyway.
As much as as much as I hate to say it, I feel like I'm okay with that though, because I feel like
if they had maybe not done as good of a job, I would be a little more upset with that fact, or that idea. But she was done well enough to where if we don't see her for the rest of the season, I think I'd like to see her again. If they bring her back, I'm not going to be like, what the hell is this? No, I don't want it. But I feel like out of the three, she probably has the least to come back and do. Unless maybe they need her for like a final fight or something. Like they gather everybody for like a big fight at the end against Moff Gideon, because Ahsoka does have the lightsabers and Gideon has the dark saber, so you could have some of that. Uh, but out of the three, I think she's the least likely to return.
The Star Wars fan, the completely biased fanboy inside me, is foaming at the mouth for more Ahsoka content. Let me get that clear.
Yes.
However, yes. I do, because I'm a big Game of Thrones guy, and like that was my favorite show until they dropped the ball with the writing and they try to just appease fans, and like part of that was for the books. Like there's a whole, like we can get into that, but I don't want that to happen to Mando. So I think, like you said, like Ahsoka, like of course, again, I want to see more Ahsoka, but like she doesn't have, like I don't want them to cram her in just because I want it. I want to see a good story done, and I feel like without her, if she's not in it, I'm like, all right, that's okay. I want to see the best story possible.
Yeah, because I mean, I feel like what we want and what we think they should do can be separated into two different. Like if they were to throw like Obi-Wan's there, oh look, it's Ahsoka, there's this and this and that, I would be like, hell to the yeah, I will watch this over and over again. But at the same time, I'm like, please don't do that, because this is supposed to be, as much as we love these characters, the show is not called Ahsoka. It's called The Mandalorian. It's about Mando and the child and Grogu. So
shout out Grogu.
Facts. So I mean, they're the primary characters, and they shouldn't just use the whole season to just push Mando to the side so we can have every episode of a recurring character. Because if there's a Jedi that comes back, like you were saying, that would already be literally half the season dedicated to returning characters, pretty much. So I think they probably want to stay away from that a little bit.
Yeah, I agree. Because also we'll have the whole cloning Moff Gideon stuff to get into. Like we might not even see Tython until next season.
Yeah.
And like again, I want to see Luke come back. I set up, throw my laptop across the room. But again, I want to see the best story, and I just want to see stuff make sense. And so far, it's been excellent.
Yes, definitely. And it's also very possible for the training arc to continue next season, because remember, at the end of the first season, there was still, they had to get time. He was just a child. They had to find, there was still a story. There was still something they had to do. They had to go find the species or a Jedi, or they had to go do something. So I feel like we could end the season by solving. They end the season with the cloning plotline, which seems to be the big deal right now. Like that's the biggest threat. And then they could end it by saying, okay, now to get this child to a master. It's possible, but they could also just do it this season. But there's only 3 episodes left, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't want it to get too crammed, especially if we're going to get mostly like half hour to 40-minute episodes. I don't want them to just shove everything in. Like if you want to save some stuff for next season, if it makes it better, then do that. I'm fine with that.
Mm-hmm. I could see Ahsoka coming back for like the conclusion, maybe the last episode, and I could see like Cara Dune and Grief Karga. Like I could see a team up of the people we already have seen, But like seeing that new Jedi, whoever, if it's returning or whatever, seeing Thrawn, I don't think we'll see him. Like we got the name drop. I think that's it for now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we did get the Ahsoka name drop, and then she appeared 2 episodes later. But at the same time, there was no cast confirmation that Thrawn would be back before the season, like there was with Ahsoka. So either we just got the name drop, and that was just a little nugget for the fans, or this is like a secret character they're holding back.
I was super surprised with it though. Great reveal.
Yeah. Is there anything else you wanted to talk about? Anything else that stuck out to you? Some little thing you want to mention?
In general, like I hit on it before, but like the quality of episodes they're producing is like, it's really remarkable. I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm a Star Wars fan, but like I'm trying to take my bias out of it. I think like they're just
really hard to do.
They're just making good TV. Like these are the plot lines, like everything. Like the way they're bringing characters back and doing them justice and furthering it. Like I'm just so excited and so happy to be getting not only good TV, good Star Wars.
Good Star Wars TV.
So I'm super excited for the next 3 episodes.
Yeah. And because of this show that we're gonna hopefully keep going with, I'm actually kind of excited because once Mandalorian's over, we can start, talking about some of the other stuff that we've had some ideas about for making episodes on. Like for example, I don't know if I told you this or not, but I had an idea for us to do a sort of rewatch or a first time watch, half rewatch, half first time watch of Star Wars Rebels, and we could get your reactions and my watching you react, and we can make that a series, just so because you have not seen Rebels, and a lot of that ties into this episode because Ahsoka is in Rebels. She has the white sabers in Rebels, the dark sabers in Rebels, and Thrawn is in Rebels. So there you go. There's a bunch of big points that are in that show. So that could be something we could do once Mandalorian this season is over and there's not really anything new or current to talk about. We could do that. So if you'd like to see that, too bad. We're probably going to do it anyway, regardless of what you say. So
yeah, really the only person we answer to is Craig. So
I knew it was coming.
So content no matter what. And again, shout out Craig. He sets up all the audio, he records. Honestly, he does all the technical stuff. He does our artwork. He runs our social medias. He actually writes our scripts too. He watches the episodes, and we don't watch the episodes. We have Craig tell us what happens.
Yeah. Right, Craig?
Yeah. Oh, what a guy.
What a dude. All right.
But
I think we should cut it off there at this point. We've been going for over an hour, I think. But that was our breakdown / mostly rambling about chapter 13 of The Mandalorian. Tell us what you thought about the episode if you want or don't. Yeah, anything else you want to
add? Definitely leave some questions if you're watching, because we would love to like answer stuff. We might not know the answers, but we definitely want to get some involvement with you guys. Yeah.
All right. I think we've been going for over an hour now. So but yeah, that'll do it for our breakdown of chapter 13 of Mandalorian. Thanks for listening this far if you did, or just thanks for listening to the first 10 minutes and just noping out of there. Either way, thanks. And we will be back with something. Goodbye.
I
don't know how to make Craig stop.
Thanks, Craig.
Goodbye.